Hello there. Welcome back to Emprise Can Read. I am Emprise, and today we are going to be doing a little throwback to Burger King. Also doing a throwback to I think I've finally defeated my crackling. I have taken everything already out of the bag. This time I got kind of a hodgepodge of foods. I did get some fries, of course, and some zesty sauce. If anyone remembers that, zesty sauce is obviously the best. And they were out of like stacker sauce for I don't know. The burger I got was their newest, the melts, I guess. But zesty sauce will suffice. We got our Beagle Companion. Then we have Fentiman's Botanically Brewed Traditional Ginger Beer. So hopefully this will be good too. Botanical. But today is another viewer request day. And the subject is melancholy. As I was going through my list of things, of food ideas to do, none really seemed melancholic enough. So I was like, hey, that Burger King disaster happened. Burger King's kind of melancholic. So we'll go with that. Do you want the spicy chicken wrap or the melt first? I think burger will probably go bad quicker, so we'll start with that. Of slightly toasted bread and slightly melted cheese. That's what I like to see. We will get some of this zesty sauce on there per the employee person's recommendation. Oh yeah, I'm already sad. That's how you know you're eating at Burger King. I did not get a Hershey pie this time because I have to work at 4 a.m. tomorrow, is why. And I'm trying to mitigate the damage done to my poor little body. But damn, the zesty sauce. So good, so good. So, the Burger King melt, which at this point I think it's just a burger with cheese on like a sourdough looking. Is this really any different than anything else? Whatever. Let's give it a shot. It's not even like remotely melting. And I live close by too. Another reason why I chose Burger King, it's the closest fast food place to me. And it's like prime dinner hour too. Sad. So, not only did I receive a topic recommendation, I also received a book recommendation on top of that. The Anatomy of Melancholy by Robert Burton. And I always want to say Richard Burton, but it's not Richard Burton, it's Robert Burton. And it's a book from the 1600s. And it was very long. And it was full of there was a Latin in it. There was a lot of very antiquated stuff that Emprice is too dumb to handle. So I looked up just passages and excerpts and famous bits from it, and I just read those, I don't know if it's fine. It's all okay, we got our melt. So I just want to read some sections that I found that, I thought were decent. Then we can talk a little bit about melancholy. I gotta eat this stuff quick, man, before it gets cold. Oh, look, there's a dog on it. Dog City never sleeps. Oh. Thou canst not think. One may not think, essentially. One may not think worse of me than I do of myself. That's pretty self-loathing. And then he tops that with, he that increaseth wisdom increaseth sorrow. And that quote was kind of funny to me because it reminded me of another sort of scholarly paper from a long time ago that I actually have read the entire thing. I'll grab it actually right here. Why did I not have it prepared? Oh, me. Yes. Suicide by Emil Durkheim, or however you pronounce the name. And I do indeed have many a dog ear in this book. I've read the entire thing. It's very fascinating, from 1899 if I remember. And this also reminds me of a guy named Mitchell Heisman who published a very long paper, a 2,000-page paper, which I have not read all of it. I've read about a quarter. Also about suicide. And one of the main ideas of both this book and that other paper is that, with knowledge comes suffering, comes melancholy. You could say the idea that I think it's phrased in one of the other ones that rationalism leads to nihilism. Nihilism leads to irrational self-destruction. So any sort of logical pursuit of knowledge always ends in, this chaos. Because the more you find out about reality, the more that you see all the disconnects and all the inefficiencies and all the sort of petty cruelties of the day-to-day. Which this also brings me to my next little passage. I think that's the sort of optimistic response to these sort of quandaries. This is very gingery. Wow, I like it a lot though. Like straight ginger root. I think it goes with the idea that life is pain and life is suffering, and there's always going to be a sort of tinge of sorrow, but you can't let it overwhelm you. You have to sort of keep your chin up. And to me, melancholy isn't like the crushing weight of despair or, this painful existentialism. Melancholy is just kind of like a day-to-day malaise, like a blues, like a, I'm fine, I'm doing okay, but at the same time, I'm kind of just like, like, oh, well, it's fine, just a sort of, it's like one step away from apathy. The idea that things are fine but not as good as they could be, or not as they should be. And it just makes you a little sad. It certainly does me. What's interesting about this book too, not to derail the well, might as well read some little. I got enough sections to sort out. What's interesting about that one is it even breaks down the different ways that sadness and despair can stem from one's life. This one breaks it down into altruistic, egoistic, and anomic. Egoistic being like, oh, I'm not gonna say, am I allowed to, whatever. Suicide or sadness that comes at when the self is stressed. Altruistic comes from when the group is stressed, and then anomic comes from a sort of a floating between of social status. Anomic's kind of weird. I need a whole video for this, don't I? I'm just randomly flipping here. Here's a section I really like. Not that it pertains to melancholy. That what the heck? That fry was like ice. Like the rest are fine, like room temperature, but that one was ice. Oh my god. Burger King's wild, man. Let's get some ginger to wash it down. There are no suicides with a more definitely altruistic character. We actually see the individual in all these cases seek to strip himself of his personal being in order to be engulfed in something which he regards as his true essence. The name he gives it is unimportant. He feels that he exists in it and in it alone, and strives so violently to blend himself with it in order to have being. He He must therefore consider that he has no life on his own, and personality is here carried to its highest pitch. Altruism is acute. He's talking about acute altruistic suicide, which is a sort of to kill oneself to become like God. Very, read the book, it's very interesting. But it will be objected, do these suicides occur simply because men consider life unhappy? Obviously, if an individual kills himself so spontaneously, he does not set much store by his life, which is consequently conceived as more or less melancholy. But in this respect, I genuinely didn't have any of this planned. I'm really happy that. But in this respect, all suicides are alike. Yet it would be a great mistake to make no distinction between them, for this conception is not always the same cause, and thus is not identical in the different cases, appearances to the contrary notwithstanding. While the egoist is unhappy because he sees nothing real in the world but the individual, the intemperate altruist's sadness, on the contrary, springs from the individual's seeming wholly unreal to him. One is detached from life because, seeing no goal to which he may attach himself, he feels himself useless and purposeless. The other because he has a goal, but one outside this life, which henceforth seems merely an obstacle to him. Thus the difference of the causes reappears in their effects, and the melancholy of one is quite different from that of the other. That of the former consists of a feeling of incurable weariness and sad depression. It expresses a complete relaxation of activity, which, unable to find useful employment, collapses. That of the latter, on the contrary, springs from hope, for it depends on the belief in beautiful perspectives beyond this life. It even implies enthusiasm and a spur of faith eagerly seeking satisfaction, affirming itself by acts of extreme energy. Man, oh man, do I like acts of extreme energy. Which, eating this soggy piece of bread is one of them. Too loud. Whatever, then fine. I'm doing this for you, people. God, how is that for a quote? Can you even talk about that stuff on YouTube? Don't you get like flagged or something if you talk about, the S word? I'm just so enthusiastic. Another thing I wanted to talk about that I actually did plan on talking about was a movie about melancholy, aptly called Melancholia, by Lars von Trier, Danish filmmaker, starring, it's either Kirsten Dunst or Kristen Dunst. It's the lady who played Mary Jane in the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, if that helps. But, quick summary of it, it's about the end of the world, right? And it takes place by multiple perspectives, and it begins with this woman's, wedding. And it's pretty clear that she struggles with her own mental health. And the wedding becomes a huge disaster, and it's called off, and she just lives with her family, for the latter half of the movie where the world is about to end. And what's interesting about it is the first half is very much characterized by her sadness and her sort of powerlessness and the very willful presence of everyone else in her life. But by the time the second half hits, when the end of the world is nigh, it sort of taps into her melancholy, and her power grows. And in a way, she sort of thrives off of, all the pain and all just the sort of beautiful sadness of all these terrible things that are now going on, and everyone else is losing their minds. But because she's so indifferent, because like I said, melancholy isn't like a, very egoistic despair or very, emotional, like letting loose of pain. Melancholy is very passive. She's just sort of like, it's okay, I don't care, it's fine. And as the world sort of crumbles around her and as everyone else loses their minds, she becomes more at peace, more calm, and then her calm and peace instigate everyone else to being upset because they're like, why can she be so calm? It's a wild movie. You should check it out. Don't check out the press conference around it, but check out the actual movie. Yeah. I'm only at like 20 minutes now, and I'm already almost done. How did these videos used to take so long? They'd be like 40 minutes. Was me pissing around with the bag like really take that long in the beginning? I don't know. I'm trying my best. And I'm already done with this too, almost. Is it because I actually enjoyed the drink for once? Alright. Let's get right down to it. So we have The Anatomy of Melancholy by Robert Burton, Suicide by Emile Durkheim, Melancholia by Lars von Trier. What else can we talk about? What else can we talk about? Or, oh my god, did they even try? Oh my god, no, I look so sad. I guess this is their understandably so value menu thing. God, am I just an asshole? Not like the place I work is that much better. But yeah, this is a spicy chicken wrap, I suppose. That's, I wonder what would happen if you actually made, like, quote unquote spicy fast food, like actually spicy. Like, I can see how it'd be spicy for, like, in comparison to like the normal chicken or someone who doesn't really eat this sort of food. It does have a little more flavor, which is why I generally get the spicy stuff, but it's still like nothing compared to, you go to like an Indian restaurant or an African restaurant, some good food. Some of that stuff will knock your socks off. So I just wonder what would happen if you had the high level, flavorful, powerful spices and gave those to like the masses, whatever you want to call it. I'm probably just an elitist. I'm really into cooking at home as well, and I have 4 different kinds of chili powder, varying levels and varying, styles, and it's like, I'm just an elitist, okay? That was quick. So, what do you want to talk about? Yeah, I think did I rush through this? Did it really take that long to eat a pie? Like last time. Not just random pies for those uninitiated. But if you are new here, then welcome. Thank you for watching, especially watching this far. If you like this video, leave a like and tell me what you liked about it. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike and leave a comment telling me what I can do better. It'd be really neat. Yeah, I think I'm just in shock. I never even hit the room temperature count on the main food. No room temperature count. It was all actually somewhat warm today. Oh god. I was about to comment on the botanical nature of this botanically brewed ginger beer, not being sponsored. And I got hit with a full-on puff of botany. Oh, what the hell? What? Like the last two sips taste different from the rest of it. Was I supposed to? Doesn't say shake on here. Whatever. Such is life. Ooh. Anyway, thank you again for getting this far. I really do appreciate all the support I get from you guys. I think I might be taking not a hiatus, but not as many eating videos for a while. I kind of want to work on some other stuff, which you'll be seeing and should be, coming out forthwith. It's just stuff that, takes a lot more time than, just eating, a burger in front of a camera. I want to get into, making essays and making movies. Just playing around. I always want to keep you on your toes if you're watching this channel. And speaking of this channel, this has been M. Price Can Eat, the subsidiary company of M. Price Can Read. I am M. Price, as you do know. And as you also do know, Dog City never sleeps. I hope that you may sleep now.